Good afternoon, it's Mike Cousins again from docSAFE. Today I'm going to show you an exciting new feature that we've got in our latest version of docSAFE. This new feature is a departure from what we normally do. Traditionally within docSAFE you're able to exchange documents, make documents available and have clients sign documents within docSAFE. But what we've now included is the ability for you to generate a document within docSAFE that a client can fill in online. Not only can they fill it in online, but they can also sign it online at the same time they're filling it in. So with no further ado, let's go and show you how it works. So from the main screen, if you go to Clients, you can click this new button up here called Dynamic Forms. Now this gives you an option where you can edit an existing form that you're working on or load a new one. So you're able to upload a document and then start to stencil it and create the areas you want the clients to fill in. So let's pick one I've already made earlier, Fact Find Personal, I think. Now this is the Dynamic Forms editing suite. And in here you're able to stencil any document. This one in question here has got 20 pages and you can see we started doing it. You can place boxes with different definitions over areas of form you want the clients to fill in. So in this instance, you can either use, if you look at the top right hand corner, you can use a single text, multi-text, tick box, currency or value, date box or signature. And down here you'll see that we started to fill these in with a signature box at the bottom. If we move to page 2, let's create another box. So let's click a box here and you can see how we can simply drag it and drop it over any area that we want filled in. We can resize the box, as you see I'm doing here, to fit the space provided. And on the left hand side here you can name the boxes, you can choose the type of box, you can even change the font size of that box so it fits in a bit neater. And you can do some fine tuning as well using its position a pixel at a time. You'll also notice an option here called mandatory field. Any of the fields that you add to a document you can make mandatory, so they have to be completed by the user before the document itself is complete. To speed up the process you can also clone a previous box. If I press it again, it'll produce a box exactly the same size as the previous one, just in case you've got a lot that are in succession that are the similar size. I'll show you some of the size boxes. If we go for a multi-text box, you'll see how big that is. Okay, and we can change the size of that box and the number of rows in that box and the font size of that box. We can go for a tick, just in case you needed somebody to tick a box, and all the others as well. But don't forget that you can also add a signature at any time. So we could actually ask for the client to sign it down here in one of the other boxes. Now once that form has been saved, you can reuse it as many clients as you want. You don't have to do this again. This goes into a public library. Now to use dynamic forms is very straightforward. It's just the same as choosing a document to give to a client. So if we go to a client account, ranking for house, we go to due diligence. Here we can, instead of using a drop box at the top here, drop down box, there's upload documents. We're going to request a form fill, and for the ones we've created in our public library we want this client to use the fact find. So if we press start upload, that gets encrypted straight up to the docSAFE server in the cloud and the client gets a notification. Here the client is having logged into their account and you'll see now there is a new document in there. We've got a brand new type of tab that says please complete, so they can complete that document. So if we click it there and go to complete form, the document will appear in front of us. If we flick around the document, you'll notice all the fields we've asked the client to fill in on the first and second pages. And if I start to fill that in, you'll see how easy it is. And we can also tab down from one field to another. So I'll just put a date in that one. And you'll also notice that this final box, which we've asked to have, which is a signature box, is in red because it's mandatory. So let's complete the exercise and I'll sign that away. And all the client needs to do is submit that document. And now that's all done. If the client chose to fill it partly now and later, it will auto-save, and it will only be complete when they press the tick at the top section or fill in the mandatory fields. If I go back and have a look at the document, you'll now see that the fields that have been filled in, and that document is now complete. Confirmation has gone to the client that they've done it, and confirmation has gone back to the staff member who requested the form fill in the first place. Now, the major benefits of using dynamic forms, I think they speak for themselves. You can create forms for clients to fill in, and they can do that rapidly without having to take the document out of the safe harbor of docSAFE. Now, for security reasons, it's always safer to allow the client to fill it in within docSAFE rather than traditionally we've asked them to take a document out, fill it in and put it back in. Because these documents, the dynamic forms, are in a public library and you only have to perform the mapping exercise or stenciling exercise once on each form, it means that you can get these forms to a large quantity of clients very quickly without having to upload them one at a time. So let's just close that document down for a minute. If you'd like to find out how the dynamic forms would help speed up your processes, then don't hesitate in giving us a call. We'll more than happily show you a demonstration of it. And that's the end of the tutorial for today. Good afternoon.